Hi, this is Shaheedah Hill, getting you over the hill to home ownership and helping you confidently buy your first home. Today, I want to talk about those of you that are still in the market, trying to find a home, getting a little bit frustrated, how you can find some hidden opportunities in this market. And then I'll make a video later in the week for those of you that are waiting. But for those of you that are in the market, I want to go over, I'm always have my numbers mixed up. I want to go over at least 8 things that you could do to find some hidden opportunities in the market if you're up against a lot of multiple offer situations. And I think a lot of buyers are overlooking some opportunities. So, number one, let's get right into it. If you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel, if it's your first time here, I have helpful videos in the description, and please like and subscribe. All right, so first of all is days on the market. So one thing that people are overlooking, buyers especially, are homes that have been sitting on the market. Of course, when something pops up on Zillow or on the automated service that your agent is showing you, everybody runs to that house, especially if it's move-in ready, and then there are multiple offers on that property. However, in that same neighborhood or that same area, you might have some homes that are sitting. And the reason why homes don't sell is either that they're overpriced, it's either price, location, or condition. And typically what I'm seeing is the condition. So I would say look at those areas that might be in your school district, that might be in your preferred city or preferred subdivision. Are there homes that have been sitting on market more than average, and go take a look at those. Don't overlook it because, say it is flooring or say it is paint or say it is appliances. Those sellers are generally more negotiable, where you can get some of those things included, get your closing costs paid, get some credits. There are so many things you can do with a motivated seller that you cannot do when you're competing against other people with multiple offers. So make sure you're not overlooking those, especially in this market. Number two, I want you, so if you put an offer on a house, I want you and your agent to check back on that house if they did not accept your offer, to go back to that house on day 5 and day 21. And this is why. To go back and follow up with that agent. Day 5, typically there's a due diligence period or some kind of inspection period for the offer that was accepted. If a contract is going to fall through, it's going to fall through in those first couple of days, or when the finance contingency, like right before the finance contingency. There are so many homes coming back on the market due to either inspections or due to the buyer's inability to obtain financing. You want to be that person that listing agent thinks of, you or your agent, oh, I'm going to call them as soon as this comes back. So all it is, on day 5, I sent an email. How's the inspection going on the offer you accepted? Please let us know if there's any chance of this property coming back on the market. My client is still interested. And then on day 21, is there any chance that this home is coming back on the market due to financing? My client is still interested, especially if there was a home that we didn't get, we didn't beat the multiple offer situation. So I want you to do that. I promise you, things are coming back on the market a lot. And a lot of it is because of financing. So the person's offer that they did accept, maybe their financing didn't work out. So you want to be the first person that they think of. And that's how we're getting some of our clients' offers accepted. All right, number 3, 203K loans. Now, I don't have any videos about 203K loans. However, it's basically, have you ever seen Fixer Upper with Chip and Joanna Gaines? They buy this house for $30,000, then they put all this work into it and make it really nice. And then, they purchase that property at the higher value. That is pretty much a 203K rehab loan. It is for owner occupant. So again, those homes that are sitting on the market because they need some kind of rehab, hopefully cosmetic, but they'll do more than cosmetic. You can do your roof over. You can do sometimes landscaping over. You can do major systems, air conditioning, furnace, plumbing, electric, with a 203K rehab loan. So you find a house, and it's all in one loan. So you find a house, get enough money in there to rehab it. That gets rolled into the loan as well. And then those properties will probably also, because they've been sitting, pay some of your closing costs. I'm doing my first 203K loan with a client right now. And so I'll stay tuned on that one, but we definitely got it under list price with all closing costs paid for the most part. So I'll let you know how that goes. I don't want to do a video on it, but it's an FHA 203K loan. It allows you to take a home that needs some work and basically finance the rehab for it. Okay, so a great product. So if you're not finding what you want in your price range, buy it and make it what you want. All right, number 4. If you qualify, a lot of people are losing out in multiple offer situations because they're using FHA financing or maybe another government type of financing, FHA or VA, and sometimes the seller is looking for conventional buyers because they feel like that's going to be a safer choice when you're looking at financing. However, there are a lot of people who qualify for both. They qualify for FHA and they qualify for conventional. So in this market, because it's so competitive, some people are choosing to do FHA because sometimes the interest rate may be a little bit lower on FHA. So I guess my advice to you, if you qualify for both FHA and conventional, but you've been using your FHA pre-approval, ask your lender for both an FHA pre-approval and a conventional pre-approval. And I would send both with my offers. So I would send the FHA approval and the conventional approval to show them, even though you're doing an FHA loan, because it's probably part of your finance contingency that you're doing FHA, that you also qualify, you're well qualified for conventional as well. It just may help you out some in the negotiation. All right, number 5. Farm a neighborhood. So if there's a neighborhood that you really want to be in, as small as possible, maybe the street that you want to be on, the subdivision you want to live in, your agent, your buyer agent can really farm that neighborhood, because I'm sure there's somebody that wants to sell in that neighborhood that just doesn't have their house on the market yet, or they're thinking about putting their house on the market. And in this environment, they don't want a lot of people in their house. So what they can do, they can send letters. They're called buyer letters. I don't know if it's called buyer letters, but they're buyer letters. Basically, I have a buyer. They're really interested in it, especially if you lost out on a home in that subdivision. You can send that and say, we didn't get, accepted for this, but we're well qualified. We're ready to go. If you're looking to sell, my client's looking to buy. I did this in a particular, it was one subdivision. My client wanted that specific subdivision. And so number 1, it was as soon as something came on the market, we were there. We missed out on 2. Just due to financing, somebody beat us out on what they could offer. But then on the third one, and I did a postcard mailing to the neighborhood as well, we were able to get under contract when the third home came on the market. We got under contract that same day because they knew that we were motivated. They knew that we had been farming the neighborhood, so we were able to do that. So if there's a specific neighborhood or subdivision you want to be in, have your agent farm that neighborhood. They'll understand. If you say, I want you to farm this neighborhood, I want to live here, they should be able to help you out with that. Number 6, new construction. So a lot of new construction will get you off of the multiple offer situations, and you're able to do new construction. Some new construction may have a waiting list, but what's good about new construction is you don't have to fight generally to get your offer approved, your contract approved. They kind of just have the pricing out there, and you can choose your lot. Even if the house is not going to be ready, maybe until the spring, that'll give you some additional time to save, to get your paperwork and everything else in order to move. But at least you're locking in that price, even though the house is not built yet. So you'll be good to go for 2021 spring, 2021 if the house is still going to be built. And a lot of new construction builders will contribute to your closing costs. So that's a good thing. And again, sometimes I'm skipping things. So the next number is number 7, I think. Tenant occupied. So this is a little bit tricky one, but so tenant occupied properties are everywhere right now. And my fear usually is that those tenants aren't paying their mortgages because they have the eviction moratorium where they don't have to pay their rent. And so a lot of investors are putting their homes on the market, tenant occupied, and like, okay, you go ahead and buy the house, the tenant has a lease, and then you deal with it basically. And you don't want to get into that situation necessarily, that you'll have to evict somebody if they're not paying, that sort of thing. And you have to own or occupy the property in a specific amount of time. So you have to make sure, but a lot of agents overlook tenant occupied because they don't want to deal with the whole tenant situation. But if there is a house that you like, and it just happens to be tenant occupied, you may have an opportunity to get in. And if you can get in and close before, like right when the tenant's lease is about to end, or like toward the end of their lease. I just want the tenant out before you close, basically. And your agent can help you with that. But a lot of agents are overlooking tenant occupied properties. They don't even want to show them. Number one, they're usually hard to show because the tenant doesn't want to leave. So it's usually a mess. That's what I found in most cases. But that's something that can give you some opportunity. If there's a house that you like, but it just happens to be tenant occupied, you can get the information on the lease. When does the lease end? Put it under contract, and you're the contract as soon as the lease ends to buy that house. All right, this is my last one. It is kind of on the tenant occupied stuff. If you're renting a house now and you're interested in maybe making that your house, I would reach out to your landlord and tell them that you're interested. Would they be interested in selling? Because a lot of people, again, you're overlooking maybe the house that you're living in as a potential to buy. And then I would work with a real estate attorney. I would work with a local realtor just to advise you, get your contracts and that sort of thing together. Make sure you get an appraisal if you plan on buying the rental that you live in right now. I hope these were helpful, these 8 tips. I hope these were helpful in getting you just some ideas of how to navigate and find some opportunities in this seller's market. Please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week.